Everyone, it's Emilia. We are talking today about Pinterest. And why, might you ask? Is this a Pinterest tutorial? And the answer is, it is not a Pinterest tutorial. But because of what we saw in 2020 with all of the fluctuations and turbulence with the Google algorithm, it's no surprise that a lot of people right now are talking about alternative traffic sources, maybe Facebook, maybe Twitter, maybe other search engines, maybe, up and coming search engines, or maybe thinking, okay, well, maybe I should try optimizing for Bing. I don't know how to do that, but maybe because of what's going on Google, maybe I should. And naturally, because so many bloggers have had success with Pinterest traffic, Pinterest is on the top of the list for a lot of people, especially those who haven't really dived in that deep with it, or maybe not at all. But before you decide to dive in and go all in on Pinterest, let's talk about two questions that you should answer before you head down that road. First, I gotta ask, is your traffic, is your avatar, your customer, are they on Pinterest? If your customer, your viewer, the people that are interested in what you have to write about are not on Pinterest, then there's just not going to be mounds and mounds and waves of traffic coming into your site if you just magically start pinning. You say, well, how do I figure out if my audience is on Pinterest? Well, the first thing I would suggest you do is actually go on Pinterest. Start searching using the keywords that you use to write your articles. Are there pins there? Are there boards? Are there people who are really focused on that topic? And if you don't find very much, you could look oh, it's an opportunity. This is just an underserved, topic. But if I were to go on Pinterest and not see anybody pinning about this particular topic, maybe it's muscle cars or clouds or whatever, you go there and you don't see anything, I would be pretty darn concerned about investing a lot of time and money into that topic on Pinterest, because to me it suggests that the people who are interested in those topics are not there. And maybe that's the keyword is yet. Maybe they're not there yet, but as of right now, if I'm investing my time into it, they're not there yet. And for me, that's a sign or a signal that I should work on something else. Another thing to think about if you're trying to figure out, okay, is my audience there on Pinterest? Take a look at your demographics. Take a look, if you can, if you're using analytics, and get any sort of idea, if you have anything at all that tells you the demographics of the people who come to your site. Are they in the range of folks who are used to using search engines like Pinterest and Google and the rest to find the things that they like? Meaning, are these people who are tech savvy? If you are in that niche and you yourself, being an expert or somebody who's passionate about it, would not go to Pinterest in order to learn more about it or to experience that hobby, or to surround yourself by people who are also in it, then it might be worth a pause. The next thing I would want to know, if I was making a decision about going all in on Pinterest, is whether or not that is the best idea for my site, for the traffic, because I want to make sure that if I'm going to be dumping time and money into something, that is something that I will earn that time and, earn that money. I'm never going to earn the time back, let's face it, but earn some money back out. So I did an interview recently with Sang Nickerson, and I asked her, because she's on Mediafine, I said, do you know what the value is of your Pinterest traffic versus SEO? Because she does both. I was curious myself for my sites. The screen grab from my big data analytics dashboard, specifically looking at the traffic source. And you can see right here that if I'm getting Pinterest traffic for this site, which I'm really not, it is a really, really, really small proportion of what it is that I am getting as far as traffic and earnings. But what's interesting to me actually is the value of the traffic and where it is coming from. While the majority of my traffic does come from Google for this site, the EPMV for that traffic is not actually the highest. And in fact, it's headed towards maybe the lower end. Funny enough, and I wouldn't have thought this, but Facebook traffic, people coming from Facebook, I actually earn more for those people for the time spent on my site. So if you're sitting there juggling back and forth oh, should it be Pinterest or Twitter or Facebook? I feel like people who are just grabbing Pinterest because it seems like a good idea without really knowing what it means or why for them might be missing out on an opportunity. Maybe your niche in particular would earn more from Twitter. But how do you know? How do you know if you never looked? Now, I know not everybody is going to have access to this kind of data. Like if you're on AdSense alone, you're not going to get a breakdown like this, which is a huge bummer because I feel like Google has all of the information. They should be able to tell based upon who clicks on what, where the traffic comes from, and then to be able to boil it down into what those clicks and those visitors are worth, but they don't. I also have to imagine that this is something that in the future that the big ad networks, if they're not already doing it, they will be, because it is such a worthwhile number to those of us who are publishers. People disagree about whether to put ads on a new site, but this stat right here and some of the other stats that you can get in Big Data Analytics is one of the reasons why I like putting Ezoic on a site that is younger and newer, because as the site grows, I can get some data that will help guide me and help me get an idea of where to dump my time and money. Now, to be fully transparent, you should know that not only do I have Ezoic on my sites, that I am an Ezoic affiliate. That means that my link is in the description, and if you click it, I will earn 3% of whatever you earn as a content publisher at no additional cost to you. But if you know me and you know my channel, you know that I do not recommend products that I would not use or do not use myself. But I will say, for the benefit of myself and other Ezoic affiliates out there, is if you are on AdSense or you're looking at getting into putting ads on your site for the first time, please go and find someone's affiliate link, because publishers do earn 3% of your earnings, and that can pay for Ahrefs or tools over time, and it's a great way to support creators out there. So what about you? Are you jumping into Pinterest in 2021? Are you doing traffic diversification? Let me know down in the comments. What are you going to be doing differently in 2021 that you did in 2020 as far as traffic, given what Google did to all of us? Thank you so much for watching, everyone. What you will see on the screen right above my fingers right here are two things. One is a playlist of all of my Ezoic tutorials and my results videos, and on the other side, a video that was selected just for you by YouTube, because YouTube thinks that you will enjoy it.